welcome to this lecture on a few more problems based on the Lagrange multiplier method. Most of these problems are well known, and some of them must have been discussed even in previous lectures. Basically, to recall, the Lagrange multiplier method requires an objective function plus one or more constraints. And then we build the Lagrangian function and then take partial derivatives with respect to the decision variables, and then find out the parameters, then find the critical points, and then test the critical points for their behavior. So let us start with the first problem, where we have to find the volume of the greatest rectangular cuboid that can be inscribed inside an ellipsoid. All of us know ellipsoid is a solid spread over three directions, and imagine a rectangular box inside an ellipsoid so that 0, 0, 0 happens to be the common center. So you fix the dimensions of the box to be 2x, 2y, and 2z so that its volume is 8xyz. This has to be maximized subject to the constraint x squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared plus z squared by c squared is equal to 1. So set up the Lagrangian function, capital F of xyz is equal to v, that volume function, plus lambda times the constraint, that is 8xyz plus lambda times the ellipsoid. We take the partial derivatives with respect to x, y, and z, that is 2f by dou x, dou f by dou y, dou f by dou z, equate them to 0, and then work out the critical relationship. When we find the critical relationship, it comes out as x squared by a squared is equal to y squared by b squared is equal to z squared by c squared, which can be reduced to x by a is equal to y by b is equal to z by c. And to find out the values of x, y, z, you substitute the relation in the constraint equation, that is in x squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared plus z squared by c squared is equal to 1. So we get x is equal to a by root 3, y is equal to b by root 3, z is equal to c by root 3. And then substitute this in the objective function 8xyz, and you get the volume of the largest rectangular box to be 8abc by 3. This problem was earlier discussed in unconstrained optimization, where we have to maximize the function cos A, cos B, cos C, where A, B, C are angles of a plane triangle. So the constraint will be A plus B plus C is equal to pi, and you build the objective function f of ABC is equal to f plus lambda times pi, that is cos A, cos B, cos C plus lambda times the constraint A plus B plus C minus pi. Set up the partial differential equations and then equate them to 0, and then solve for the decision variables a, b, c. You get a is equal to b is equal to c. When you substitute this in the constraint equation a plus b plus c is equal to pi, we get a is equal to pi by 3, b is equal to pi by 3, c is equal to pi by 3. That means when the triangle is an equilateral triangle, then we get the maximum for the function cos A, cos B, cos C, and that turns out to be 1 by 8, because cos 6t is 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. When you come to the third example, this is interesting because there are two constraints. We have to find the extreme values of the function 2x plus 3y plus z, and the constraints are x squared plus y squared is equal to 5 and x plus z is equal to 1. So you build a Lagrangian function, capital F of xyz is equal to small f of xyz, which is the objective function, plus lambda times the first constraint plus phi times or mu times the second constraint. And when you take the partial derivatives and equate them to 0, we get the values of the parameters to be mu is equal to -1, lambda is equal to plus or minus 1 by root 2. And then you can use the two constraint equations to derive the values of x, y, and z. So x yields plus or minus 1 by root 2, y takes the values plus or minus 3 by root 2, and z takes the value 1 plus 1 by root 2. So these are the critical points. And then when you substitute this in the objective function, we get 1 plus or minus 5 root 2 as the values. Obviously, 1 plus 5 root 2 will return the maximum for the function, 1 minus 5 root 2 the minimum under the two constraints. The fourth one is a constraint optimization problem with just one constraint. This is a straightforward problem, except that the manipulations require careful, you need good skills to handle this problem. So again, you build a Lagrangian function, capital F of xyz is equal to u of xyz plus lambda times the constraint. So when you do this and take the partial derivatives, equate them to 0, we get 2a cubed y cubed, x cubed rather, plus is equal to 2b cubed y cubed is equal to 2c cubed z cubed equal to lambda. So now when you take the cube roots, we get ax is equal to by is equal to cz is equal to lambda by 2 to the power of 1 by 3. Suppose this quantity is called k. So you find out xyz in terms of k, and then you go back to the constraint equation and then find out the values of xyz in terms of a, b, and c. And you will get them without any difficulty as x is equal to a plus b plus c by a, y is equal to a plus b plus c by b, and z is equal to a plus b plus c by c. So that's exactly what we wanted. So problems like this are straightforward, but it requires some basic mathematical skills. Question number 5 is a problem based on two constraints. X squared plus y squared plus z squared is the objective function, and then you build a Lagrangian function with the parameters lambda and mu, and then you take the partial derivatives with respect to x, y, and z, equate them to 0, and then you will get on careful calculation lambda is equal to minus f, and then once you plug this in, you will get x is equal to mu times L by AF minus 1, then y is mu times m by BF minus 1, and z is equal to mu times n by CF minus 1. So this can be substituted in the last constraint equation, and since mu can be extracted out, but it cannot be 0, therefore we get a relation L square by AF minus 1 plus m square by BF minus 1 plus n square by CF minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic in F, and we get the extreme values by solving it. And then we can also look at the geometry of the surfaces which are given. Ax square plus by square plus cz square is equal to 1, assuming that the coefficients are positive, is an ellipsoid. And then Lx plus my plus nz is equal to 0 is a plane that passes through the origin. So therefore, by solving these two, we get the points of intersection, which of course we cannot determine unless we have knowledge of ABCs and elements. But once you get that, you can always substitute it back into the objective function and decide what's the maximum or minimum. So this problem, if you observe carefully, has ended up with equation number 7, which stores all the information about f. The maximum value of f or the minimum value of f requires a knowledge of element and ABC. The sixth problem is again interesting. We have a tent standing on a square base. We'll assume the sides to be x and x with vertical height y, And then on top of this cuboid stands a tetrahedron, and therefore this is the tent-like structure that we are talking about, and we have to find out how much canvas is required so that we consume the minimum of that, because our resources are scarce. What is known as the volume of the tent is fixed. That is what you can read from the question. The capacity of the tent is constant, but you have to minimize the surface area. So what is very important is to build the objective function. So if you take the rectangular part of the tent, then it is L into B into H, that is x into y, that is x square y, plus the volume of the pyramid on top will be 1/3 area of the base into height. So 1/3 base area will be x into x, and then the height is h, that is assumed. So this is the objective function. It contains 3 unknowns, x, y, and h, and then the constraint is the surface area is a constant. I mean, the volume is a constant, and we have to build the surface area for minimization. The surface area will be the 4 walls. The base will not be there, of course, and the 4 walls of the pyramidical part. So 4 times x into y, that is the 4 walls area, plus 4 times half into base into height of the pyramid. Now look at that one face of the pyramid. It's an inclined triangle having base as x and height indicated as tm. So you find out that simple Pythagorean theorem has to be applied, and then you get the objective function, which is 4xy plus x times root of x squared plus 4h squared. So this is your objective function, and the volume of the pyramid is a constraint. Set up the Lagrangian function, take the partial derivatives with respect to x, y, and h, equate them to 0, and you get some relations. X will be root 5 times h, lambda will be some minus 4 by x, and then you can work out what is y in terms of h, and that relation should be sufficient enough to talk about the minimum value of the surface area, provided you know some values. So the relation that we have developed is x is equal to root 5 times h, that is one relation, and y is equal to h by 2. So with these relations, if you have some further knowledge of h, then the exact values of x and y can be determined, and they can be used to find out the minimum of the surface area. So this is a good problem to be tried again. All of you are advised to work on such problems, and for your practice, there are a few problems here. There is the first problem with one constraint, second problem with one constraint, and third one with one constraint, but the fourth one coming with 2 constraints, and fifth one with a single constraint. So you have to work on all types of situations, because engineering applications require that you work with all possible situations. So with this lecture number 8, we wind up the optimization of multivariable functions. I hope you will all be in good shape after practicing the contents of this lectures.